into our practice. We're getting close to being ready to like finalize, choose a booklet, fix it all up, final edits, final revisions, and publish. So getting near the end of this unit. Okay. Okay, so here is Harim to talk with us today about goal-driven practice. Woo! Sorry, you don't have sound, probably. Okay, or I probably should share my screen. That would help too. Okay, so let's do it. Oh my goodness, it feels like a full moon. What is not a full moon? Hey, Julia. I have something funny to share with you. Just now, when I share my screen, it always freezes a little bit on my end, and it froze with you like this.
Wait, what was it?
She was licking her candy cane, and it froze on my screen, so it was like this.
That is amazing. I think that's the best thing that's ever happened in Zoom.
You think that's the best thing that's ever happened in Zoom?
Amazing stuff.
No,
The best thing that ever happened in Zoom for me is the day where I didn't get kicked out once.
Yes.
Congratulations, Zach.
Wow, one whole day. One whole year. Wow.
One whole day. One whole day. Good job.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. All right. Let's see what Harim has to say about goals, and then have your booklets ready so you can work some more on those today. I think you should have sound. I think.
So before we get started today, there's something that you're going to have to bring. Remember at the very start of this unit, we wrote a couple of small books. Like one I wrote was about fireworks, and I wrote another one about Chinese food. So right now, can you actually go bring one of those?
Oh my goodness, does it seem like so long ago since we saw her book about fireworks, the very first one? I'd forgotten she wrote about fireworks. It was that long ago.
Same.
Little books that you created right at the start of this unit? It could be that you wrote yours on paper like I did, so in that case you'd have to bring the paper copy. But you could have actually been writing it on the computer, and if you did that, then you might need to actually find that file and put it on your desktop where you can see it. Go ahead, hit pause, and get one of those books that you wrote.
Hopefully you already have those with you.
You have grown. Just look at the writing that you've done in this book, and this was just 2 weeks ago. That means 2 weeks ago, this was your very best information writing. So researchers actually have found that when people learn something new and they spend time on it, they can get better very, very quickly at it. And their growth curve looks something like this. You're going to have a chance to show off to the world how much growth you've made in just 2 weeks. Right now, let's look at this book that you wrote 2 weeks ago. I'm going to take mine out. Okay, let's look at this book, and using all that we've learned since then, let's create some plans for revision.
So first things first, it needs a table of contents. And then I also want to have a special beginning. I think the whole thing needs to be divided into chapters. Like this should be a chapter called The Dangers of Fireworks. And, well, I do need to add more. This is not enough information for a whole chapter. Here also I want to start with a new beginning. This could be its own chapter. And then down here I realize I need to add exact details. And whoa, I need to make paragraphs. How could I forget about paragraphs?
So there's so much that we can do to make this writing better, right? I like that you're at this high level in your growth. But there's something that researchers have also found. Whenever somebody starts to learn something new, it could be soccer, it could be video games, the first couple of days, your growth is dramatic. But after a while, you begin to plateau. Now, here's the good news though. There are ways to stop yourself from plateauing. Today, I want to teach you that the way for a learner to keep their growth curve going up and up and up is not just to rely on things that they've already learned, but also to constantly keep mastering something new, to keep learning new stuff. The way that a writer can keep on getting better and better and better is to set crystal clear goals for their writing and then to work really deliberately to meet those goals. Now, you already know this, but one of the best ways to come up with crystal clear goals as a writer is to look at beautiful writing done by, a writer that you admire. Consider a mentor text and study it and ask, how did this writer achieve this thing that makes it so good? What is this writer doing? Is that something that I could set as a goal for myself?
Like this introduction from an article about bulldogs. Listen up. Have you ever seen a dog whose face is so wrinkled it makes you laugh? Whoa. So this author is not just starting with a question, but it's a question that also includes a very clear picture, like an image of a wrinkled dog face.
Will you right now look at the middle of this mentor text and ask, what is this writer doing here that I could set as a crystal clear goal for myself to do in my little book?
So I'm going to leave this piece of writing up here on the screen, and you go ahead and hit pause, read it really carefully, and ask yourself, what good qualities of information writing do I see, possibly that I could use in my own writing? Go ahead, hit pause, read carefully. So I imagine you noticed, like me, that the writer is actually grouping information into subtopics, right? So there's one subtopic, what they look like, and another subtopic, bulldog care. So the writing has been divided into different parts. You might also have noticed that there's some bolded words like jaw, muzzle, coat. So the writer is including expert words about her topic. You'll also have noticed that the writer is writing with different kinds of information. I see facts, I see definitions, I see details, I see explanations. Now, do you notice these little marks? They're all over this piece of writing. Like, just listen to this sentence. They need to be walked at least once a day. Also, their fur, called a coat, can get so dirty they need to be brushed. So it's almost like the writer is using commas to help readers read with pauses where they are needed. And down here again, you see a list that is divided up by commas. Now, you might have noticed, like me, that down here, the writer's actually using dialogue and is punctuating it correctly, putting a comma after the dialogue tag, using quotation marks. So many qualities of good writing that I see in this piece that I feel like I could use for my book.
So I'm thinking that my book on fireworks should probably have chapters, right? Now I know that we learned how to create a table of contents that goes with our book. If I had to create a table of contents for this little book and make it so much better, my table of contents might look like this.
After an initial introduction, I would write about kinds of, dangers of fireworks, and special occasions.
So you recognize now the challenge for the upcoming week. We're going to take what used to be a skimpy little book that we wrote about 2 weeks ago, and we're going to make a much more advanced version of this book. We're going to create a table of contents. We're going to use all that we've learned in the past couple of days so that our growth curve as information writers keeps going up and up and up. You might begin the way I did by creating a table of contents. And then you might pick one of the chapters to work on today. Who knows, you might finish one entire chapter today, you might finish two, but do remember paragraphing, do remember thinking, what are the subtopics that might go under this chapter? Remember to teach them out loud, kind of orally rehearse them before you get started, and then give it your best shot. Be ready to show off all the new stuff you've learned. Off you go.
All right, fifth graders. So hopefully you were able to pick up some things that Harim said today about fixing up one of your earlier drafts from the unit and making it super strong and showing off all of the incredible things that you brought forth as writers in this unit. So here's your work plan for today. Oh, it says the book you began. Oh, wait, whoops. I don't think this is the right work plan. I might have accidentally deleted that work plan. Oh, no, this is right. It's just worded weird. Because we're not doing the book we began yesterday, you are free to choose any book that you have started before, probably from the beginning of our study, way back like Karim did with the fireworks, because those are the drafts that probably need the most fixing up and the most goal work going forward. Reread carefully, find places where you want to revise, and how you'll create a new draft that now has chapters. If you're doing one of your books that already has chapters, you still can look in there for places to revise. Then you're going to begin a completely new draft of this booklet by creating a table of contents and planning your chapters, and then share that by taking a picture and submitting it to Canvas. So fixing up your book today. All right, so the assignment, I will publish it. It will be session 13. And you can go ahead and grab your booklets here in the main session and start working on